To all the party people in the place to be, how are y'all doing on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, late night, wherever it is you might be while you're watching this? Hope you had a good day today. We are gonna do our bungalow video that we talked about in the last one. So we are shooting for 99% efficiency. The only reason we're not going to hit 100% is because we are going to have to order things on our phone in order to make this operation work. But once we do the phone ordering, we don't have to do nothing else but come pick up product whenever we want. We don't have to come look at the place. We don't have to come spend time here. We don't have to transfer things from another location. Everything here is going to get done on its own, all by itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a meth setup. The reason we're doing a meth setup is the bungalow can only have 5 employees. And so if I add a third chemist, it's also going to require me to have a third handler if I want to do an 8 mix thing. If I add just a third chemist, I'm producing 30 nuggets and I can only process 20 at a time. So having that extra 10 is just going to throw off the mixing process. So to me, it's not really worth it. You know, I could try to grow weed here, but then I need a botanist and I need a trash guy because I like keeping the place clean and I don't want all the trash piling up. Plus he's in the game, so I want to use him. So based on 5 employees and the configurations that you can do here, I feel like the best, most efficient setup in terms of automation is 2 chemists, 2 handlers, meth with a 4 mix to it. So let's go ahead and get started. Everything we need is on this shelf. So we're going to grab our machinery here and we're going to leave that there for now. That's just for automation purposes with the video to make things go faster, so we don't have to sit here for 20 minutes waiting on meth to cook. So we're going to put our first chemistry station down there, and then all the way opposite the room we're going to put the second chemistry station. Then we're going to get our lab ovens, and we're going to put it 2 spaces apart on the first one, and then the second one we're just going to put back to back. And so there's our lab oven. So now let's go do our mixers. And so our first mixer is going to go on this wall, and then our second mixer, which will end up being the 4th mixer, will go on that wall. And then we are going to 2 spaces again, 1, 2, and then we're going to go back to back again right there. And then our brick press we are going to stick in this corner right here. All right, excellent. So all that is done. And so now what we need to do is just set up all of our machinery. So we're going to come over to the chemistry station first, and we are going to hit E on it. We're going to pick the recipe. There's only one right now. And then the destination is going to be this lab oven. And we're going to come over here to this chemistry station. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to pick the recipe. There's only one. And we're going to set the destination to that lab oven. All right. So here we can do these together. So we're going to shift and click both lab ovens, and then we're going to edit both lab ovens. And we're going to set that destination to this mixer. Now that this mixer is set up, we are going to edit this. Maybe. Let's do that. And we're going to edit this one. We're going to set the threshold to 10. And we're going to set the destination to mixer number 2. And then mixer number 2, we're going to set the threshold to 10. And we're going to set the destination to mixer 3. This is going to get repetitive here. Set it to 10. We're going to set the destination to mixer 4. And then we're going to do it one more time. We're going to set it to 10. We're going to set the destination to the brick press. And then we're going to edit the brick press. And we're going to set the destination to this rack. And so the reason we're doing that is so now we can just run in the door, grab bricks to take to our dealers or to take to our packaging spot that was in the last video, and we're out of here. And so all we got to do is order. So right now, let's go ahead and order what we need. So first thing we need to do is from Oscar's store, we are going to need 20 acid. We're going to need 20 phosphorus. And that's all we're going to need from his store. So we're going to set the destination to Bungalow, and we're going to place the order. And then now that we've placed the order at Oscar's store, we're going to come down to Shirley, and we are going to get our 20 high quality pseudo, and we're going to have that delivered to the Bungalow, and we're going to place the order. And then the last thing that we need is our mixing recipe. And so we are going to need 40 bananas. We are going to need 40 Coke. We are going to need 40 donuts. And we are going to need 40 beans. And let's just get that destination bungalow and let's place that order. All right, so now that we're waiting on the orders to get here, we can get to the rest of the setup here. So we're going to have one rack that is our chemistry station supplies. And I've already got some on here just to get us kicked off. We got another rack that is our recipe. Our recipe is going to be banana, donut, kook, and bean. And so fun fact with this recipe, we're doing a 4 mixture. And so it's these 4 mixtures. Once you hit that 4th mixture, if you take those nuggets and put them back on this end and let it go through the process one more time, that will create your explosive mix. So if you wanted to get some explosive mix to play around with, you can just take these and run them through this process twice, and that will get you explosive. But we're not doing that today. We are just doing the four mix. But that is why I picked that 4 mix. I didn't pick it because it makes a lot of money. I didn't pick it because it was cheap. I picked it because I can run it twice and make people blow up. All right, so let's get this chemist going. We're going to assign him a locker. We'll just give him the first one, and then we're going to assign him stations. And so we're going to give him that chemistry station, that lab oven, and we're going to give him the first 2 mixers. Now, I know there's strategies about offsetting your chemist and making them alternate and stuff like that. Again, I'm not really doing this setup to optimize for efficiency or speed. I'm doing it all for automation. I don't want to be involved in any of these things. So we're going to assign his stations. So he's going to get that chemistry station. He's going to get that lab oven. And he will get the last 2 mixing stations. All right. So now our chemists are done. So now we'll start with our handlers. So we're going to pick Charles here. He's going to be our first handler. Let's give him a locker. He'll get that locker. And we are going to do his routes. All right. And so we are going to... He's going to take it from the loading bay to... He's going to handle all of our chemistry stuff. So he's going to take it from the loading bay to the shelf. And then he's going to take it from the shelf to that chemistry station. And then he's going to take it from the shelf again. And he's going to go to the other chemistry station. And so that's going to get all the supplies on the chemistry stations. And then because he's only doing chemistry, we're going to put him on the brick press. All right. So now let's head over to the other handler. We're halfway done. So Anthony here, he is going to get the loading bay. And he's going to get the loading bay to the supply shelf. And then after that, he's going to take the supply shelf to the mixer. He's going to take the supply shelf to the mixer. He's going to take the supply shelf to the mixer. And then he's going to take the supply shelf to the final mixer. And that is it. Everything is done with the setup. All the automation is there. So the only step that we have left is the thing that makes all of this possible, which is the filtering. So we're going to go in here and start with the chemistry stations. So because our shells have shared product on them, we want to make sure that we don't end up with like 2 things of acid on here, right? So we're going to hit the filter. We're going to whitelist. And this is going to be our acid. And then we're going to hit the filter and we're going to whitelist. And this is going to be our phosphorus. And then we're going to hit the filter, hit the whitelist, and then this is going to be our high quality pseudo. And so now that chemistry station is only going to get those ingredients in those slots. We're going to go do the same thing on this chemistry station. So that's going to be our acid. And then this is going to be our phosphorus. And then this is going to be our high quality pseudo. All right, so everything is set up there. That's good to go. So now we're going to come over to this mixing station. And we don't want the mixing station to get mixed up either. So we're going to whitelist that. And we're going to add, and then that's going to be our banana. And then we're going to come to this mixing station, whitelist, add. And obviously you can use whatever recipe you want. It's all up to you, but that's going to be donut in my case. And then this mixer is going to be our kook. So we're going to whitelist and we're going to add, and that's our kook. And then the final one is going to be our bean. So we're going to whitelist, add, that's going to be our bean. All right, so all the mixes are done. So now we just got to do the shelves. And so we're going to start with our supply shelf, and then this is going to be our banana. Excellent. And then we're going to hit this, and then that's going to be our banana as well. And then this is going to hit this, and donut. All right. And we're going to do donut underneath as well. So that way we can have 40 of each one on the shelf. And so that basically gives us, we can do 2 complete runs every day of 20. And then that's going to be our Coke. And we're going to hit that. And that's also going to be kook. And then last one is the mega bean. Gonna make that bean. Hit that. Add item. Bean. Excellent. So that shelf is done. And then the last shelf, we're going to whitelist this. And that's going to be our high quality pseudo. We're going to click that. Whitelist. That's also going to be high quality pseudo. And we're going to whitelist this. And that's going to be acid. And we're going to whitelist that. That's going to be acid. We're going to whitelist this. And that's going to be phosphorus. We're going to whitelist this. And that's also going to be phosphorus. And then because the recipe is 1, 1, and 1, the 10, 10, and 10 is going to last a while. So we don't need these extra 2. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add this. I'm just going to make it cash. And then that way nothing can go in these slots that's not cash. Cash can't get delivered and put in here by mistake. And then cash is nowhere else on the other side of this room to where it can get moved by mistake. So basically I'm just essentially blocking out those 2 blocks that nothing ever goes in there. And then that way everything goes where I want it to, and I don't have to worry about anything. And so with that, let's pay everybody and get this process started. So he needs 300. And he needs 300. And he needs 200. And we forgot to assign him a locker. So let's hit that locker. We jumped straight into the routing. We gave him a locker. Let's pay him. And because he has to unload that first van. So this first van is our acid, as our high quality pseudo. So he's going to go move that onto this rack. And then because this rack is full, he's going to move it to the chemistry station, but he'll get there eventually. And then the other guy is going to move all of our recipe stuff to the mixers. And so we don't want to sit here on this video and wait for the chemist to cook all the stuff. So we are just going to put an ingredient there, and we're gonna put an ingredient there, and those guys should come in and start playing with the ovens. They are. And then we are gonna we'll let them start cooking the meth, and then we'll throw meth on the mixing oven. All right, so he's cooking the meth now, and then he's waiting on his supplies. And then what we can do is we can take this mixing station, throw the meth on there, and that should start the mixing. So lab oven cooking, chemistry station going, and then here we need phosphorus and acid, which is on this van. So he's gonna load up this first, and then he's gonna move those things over. All right, so the first mixing is going. So everything seems to be flowing. That's good news. loading up that rack. Now he's gonna go hit the chemistry station. So I still need acid and pseudo on that one. Come on, bro. Alright, so this is where, again, I'm not optimized for efficiency. I could probably change the routes or mix up the routes between the handlers. So right now, because I gave him this chemistry station first, he's replacing the one pseudo, the one acid, the one phosphorus that got used. And he's now going back to the van. So I'm going to help him out. And I'm going to empty the van because he's just taking too long. So we're good to go there. Good to go there. So he should come load this up now. So yeah, so probably what I should do is give each handler one chemistry station, give each handler 2 mixing stations, and then have one handler do one shelf, one handler do the other shelf. That would probably be the play for the more efficient run. See, going and doing the other. Yeah, so see, now he's going over and doing this one. So they fulfill the routes in the order that you give it to them. So if I divvied it up and made each one do half the room, it would probably be more efficient. But again, not really here for efficiency. I'm really here for automation. Because all I want to do, order everything on my phone and not touch anything. So he's going to be here unloading all the ingredients and moving them to this shelf. So as you can see, he's placing them in the right spots. We come over here. I can put those back where they go. And we are good to go. And so everything's cooking over here now. So he's going to replace the one set of one that guy was doing. We got our first lab oven down. So the chemist should come get that. I heard it ding. No. Oh, that was the mixer. Alright, so that mixer's done. I have not done this recipe before. I looked it up right before the video because I was trying to find out what's the best for mix. And when I saw you could do this one twice and make it explosive, I was like, golden, let's do it. So right now everything's flowing, everything's cooking, all the automation is working. So the only thing right now is because this guy is unloading his van, he's not replacing the materials on the mixer. So once he finishes this right here, now he'll grab bananas and put those back on mixer number 1. Yep, and then he'll grab Coke and put it on mixer number 2. Or donuts, I mean, and then he'll grab Coke and put it on mixer number 3. So yeah, so there's a little bit I can do to clean up the routes and make everything a little bit more efficient. But again, the main thing with this setup is automation. So every morning I can get up, I can order pseudo acid phosphorus if I need it. I can order the recipe if I need it, and then I don't need to be here. I can do that from wherever I'm at on the other side of the map. I can be at other locations. I can order the deliveries and know that they're going to get delivered. They're going to get put on the shelves. They're going to get put on the mixers. They're going to get put on the chemistry stations. All the cooking's going to get done. All the mixing's going to get done. And then we're going to get a brick, and the brick is going to show up on the rack. And that is exactly what I'm looking for. So 99% efficiency. 99% efficiency. And, you know, hopefully at some point, you know, we can get to 100 where maybe on the delivery app I can set a location and an order and just have it automatically go every day. And so if they had that feature in the game, then this would be 100% automated, and all I literally have to do is just come by whenever I want to pick up product, send to my dealers, etc. So yeah, so if you have any questions If you have ideas, if you have better mixes, whatever, just hey, leave that in the comments below. I'll be sure to check those things out and see if there's anything I can do to improve this setup. But again, just different from whatever people are doing. I'm going 100% automation. I'm trying not to carry stuff between locations except for bricks, and that would be bricks specifically to dealers or specifically to my packaging spot. So how much time we got left on here? So we got 30 seconds. So we'll let the video run for 30 seconds. We'll watch this hit the brick press and see the guy make a brick, and then we'll end the video there. But appreciate everybody joining, checking it out, and we will catch you guys in the next one, which will probably be the barn. So we did the packaging spot, which was the storage facility in the last video. This video is the bungalow, so we'll probably try to do barn in the next one, and then we'll do dock warehouse in the one after that. And again, both of those builds are going to be based on automation. We don't want to touch anything, so we're gonna have the coca seeds delivered. We're gonna have all the bud seeds delivered. All that stuff's gonna. Oh, now we're at 4 a.m. So we'll grab a quick sleep. All right, we ranked up. Cool. All right, so we had a quick sleep, so he should come in and move this over to the brick press. Oh, I gotta pay everybody because I only paid them for one day. So let's pay them again. And we'll get that going. And so if this was a real setup, I'm good on this for a while, so I don't need to order that. So I would just need to reorder what's going on here. And so we got it in here, so we're gonna watch our first brick. My man Charles bricking it up. Took you a while, Charles, but there we go. We got our first brick of our fully almost fully automated, 99%, because I have to order it from the thing. But there we go. So that's the video. If you're liking the series, let me know. Sub is for free, means a lot to me, and we will catch everybody in the next one. Peace out.